Today we are in a new episode of DubaiView podcast with a special guest, Jamilia Grier. Thank you so much for having you here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How I saw it, you are an international lawyer for data and technology. What is amazing. I guess it's a very huge learning process to working in that type of space. But coming back before moving to Dubai, you was in Singapore and as well in Shanghai as a commercial lawyer, right?
That's right. I've been around doing sort of this legal stuff, and it's been a wonderful journey in having the experiences of working in those different countries. But yes, now Dubai is my home.
That's amazing. Can you explain me a little bit about your working flow in Asia, in Shanghai, and as well in Singapore? Because they're as well huge cities, I guess, as well very dynamically, like same like Dubai. So if you can give a little bit of insights, what was your working load in Asia?
Sure. Well, I think I really stumbled into that job working in Asia. So I had a background of teaching English in China. So I started out with that. And
Oh,
I was a sophomore going into my junior year in college, and I went to China to teach English. And I fell in love with the culture. So I fell in love with the language. I fell in love with just the way that relationships were built there. And that was really the start of my career. And so I got into a situation where I had this really cool, China background, but I didn't really have a way to combine that with my career. And so I went on to law school, and I always had that in the back of my mind that I would continue on doing something in China at some point in my career. And I remember I applied for a job in Connecticut, which is where I'm from. And this was with United Technologies at the time. And I walked into the office, and the hiring manager says, "I know you're here for a job in Connecticut, but we want you to go to China because you speak Chinese." And it was, really shocking to me that they would, just hire someone like that and then place them in China. But it really is what I wanted to do. And so my career kicked off from there. And I started this trade compliance is really what I worked in, which was understanding the data and technologies in aerospace and defense. And
wow.
so my role was making sure that sensitive U.S. technology didn't enter China, and really just working with the U.S. trade regulations and supporting all of their China operations at the time. And from there, my career grew, went on to Singapore, doing similar work, kind of expanding a bit more into data privacy, but always really having that foundation with data and technology. And so in those roles, you have to know how things are built. You have to, because otherwise you won't be able to determine what's
Absolutely.
safe and what's not.
It's a huge responsibility.
It is. It is.
Yeah. How it was feeling to hold that responsibility, to make sure that everything is safe.
Sometimes pretty scary. I
Yeah.
think I think what's really interesting about the world of data and technology is there's always some sort of intent behind how data and how technology are used. And so as lawyers in that space, we have to be really aware and really sensitive to what we're actually doing and why we're protecting certain technologies.
Amazing. So you became from teaching English in China to an entrepreneur because now you are the founder and CEO of Baibao, right? I spell it right?
That's
Baibao.
right. That's right.
Amazing, amazing. From Baibao. So what did you lead from the Asian country to move to Dubai?
Oh, wow. That's a really good question. I think what I felt when I left corporate world is that I wanted to be closer to the technology. So I always sort of straddled this technology and law, and I really felt like I wanted to be closer to things like blockchain, Web3, AI, and from an entrepreneurial standpoint, learn a bit more about how those technologies worked, and then, of course, follow it because it's fun. So that's what made me sort of jump and leave Singapore and come to Dubai. I came to Dubai in December of 2021, so before Binance came here. And my whole mission was really to teach lawyers about emerging technology because now more than ever, lawyers need to understand how technology works. They need to understand why they're advocating for certain things. And really, it's our role to be a lot more tech savvy than it was 10 or 15 years ago.
Absolutely, I
Yeah.
totally agree. And I guess technology is the new future. And as well, Dubai. So how you see the flying helicopters, or let's say air stations, what should come, it's all built on AI. I don't know how much I should trust them. I said every time I will wait. I will not sit 1 year inside. Let's see how many comes down. If nothing is coming down, I will sit there inside. But how you are seeing the technology futures, since talking about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and all the artificial intelligence.
Yeah, we're at a really interesting stage in history where, even for those people who are reluctant to embrace technology, I really don't think there's an avenue to not embrace technology without totally cutting yourself off from society at this point. We use technology, everything from as soon as you wake up, most people look at their phone, they check emails, how you pay for things. Most people pay with Apple Pay or some other kind of digital payment on their phone. All services, goods have some sort of app, at least most of them do at this point. So technology is now more so ingrained in our lives. And Dubai is the forefront of that. There's no doubt about that. I mean, every time I connect with someone from Asia, they say, "Hey, I'm moving to Dubai." So many of my past colleagues and counterparts want to move to Dubai. And it's because they see that vision. They see the future here. And then not just Dubai, but the region as a whole.
Absolutely. So Dubai became, let's say, the entrepreneur hub. So it's the magnet of all the entrepreneurs. What do you think? Why is Dubai the magnet currently in the time, the hub for all the entrepreneurs and, let's say, successful people?
Oh, that's a great question. I think first with respect to virtual assets, if we're looking at that specifically, and then generally we'll talk about, entrepreneurs generally, but for a while, for about a year and a half, there really were not clear regulations for virtual assets in other parts of the world. And, the United States having just completed an election, there's a lot of talk about what will happen to regulations there. But for the past 2 years, many entrepreneurs have really wanted guidance. They've wanted transparency and they've wanted predictability about regulations in order to start businesses. And so when the UAE came out with VARA, the Virtual Assets Regulatory Authority, that was a huge carrot for many businesses to move here. And even now, Singapore and Hong Kong are somewhat behind in terms of having that transparent and then also a promoting framework to allow entrepreneurs in that space to build. So I think that's one really good reason why many entrepreneurs in tech have wanted to come to Dubai. But generally, I think the entire world is looking here because of, technology, and then also socially, it's a mix, it's diverse, and it's a place for opportunity.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Then what do you think? So you see a lot of open-minded people here. So who you was moving to Dubai, how did you get connected with all that open-minded people? How you find that type of people? Because I say every time as well, the last episodes in my podcast, that Dubai is totally different because here the people are supporting you. For example, a small insight of my personal trainer in the beginning, who he moved here, now he won 2 months ago, I guess he was second place on Mr. Olympia, and he moved in the Binance gym and he got a huge support of all the PTs. And he came to me and said, "Mario, I guess they want to scam me or something. They want to support me too much, pushing me on social media and all that type of stuff. How is it possible? Because in Germany, it's not usual that someone is coming and say, 'Hey, I like your character. I like your type. I want to push you up.'" So how was for you that type of experience to connect with those type of people?
Yeah. So when I came to Dubai, I created my own circle. So I'm an introvert. If you
Yeah.
could even imagine, I'm an introvert. And so for me, I think, coming to a new country, even though I've spent years outside of my home country, it was important for me to be around people who are like-minded. And then also particularly women who are ambitious and entrepreneurial and want to build their own sort of their own life, their own empires, you'd say. And so that's what I did.
It was easy to find that
It
type of
actually
people.
was. It
Yeah.
was easy. I do think you have to put yourself out there,
Yeah.
right? So I think that many times people come to Dubai and they think, well, let me just get a job and let me wait and see if I can get traction. Let me push a little bit. But you have to put yourself out there. You have to go for what you want, and that includes building a social network.
Absolutely. Going back to the legal part, what are the difference between, let's say, the part of Asia and compared to Dubai?
Ah, wow. I'll take Singapore to start.
Yes.
Singapore is very law-based and rule-based. And so there are fines for virtually just a lot of
Everything.
things that you can do. I was going to say everything, but a lot of things that you can do. You know, there are fines associated with it. And not just that there are fines written in the books, but they're enforced. Right. And so that creates a totally different environment when it comes to law and regulations. Everyone is very much focused on that. I think Dubai is getting there. I think Dubai is laying the groundwork for that. But I mean, Singapore is the number one enforcer of fines in the world, right? So there's a big gap between that. And the question is whether, do you really want Dubai to get to that phase where, fines and penalties are being enforced for so many things. But I think at this stage right now, it's on the path to having that framework in place. And so that's really the transparency that entrepreneurs are looking for.
So you're seeing Dubai is going to the right way
Yeah, I
about the
do. I do.
about the law part. Very nice, very nice. So coming now to you as a host as well for your own podcast. It's I guess called Legal Bow Web 3, right?
Yeah, barely legal in
Barely,
Web3. Yep.
yes, barely legal Web 3. So what did you drive to open your own podcast series and talking about the technology and about Web 3?
Yeah, lawyers don't really talk too much outside of what we're allowed to say to clients and in our roles. And so for me, even having a podcast as a lawyer was like a big step. And nowadays, many lawyers have podcasts. It's quite the common thing to do. But to talk about technology in a way that lawyers understand and to bring entrepreneurs and innovators who are building things in the space to bring them forward so lawyers can really understand, oh, this is how the businesses work. Oh, this is a token launch. Oh, that's what an NFT is and how it's used. All of those things that now we know, right? But maybe a year and a half ago, people didn't know so much about it. And so that's really the whole drive of the podcast is to get technology in a way where we discuss it, where it's easy to understand.
Amazing. So for all my listeners who want to get a little bit more about information about NFT as well and technology, they can listen your podcast and they get useful insights.
Yes, for sure.
Amazing. Happy to hear that. So, and all for the women entrepreneurs who are now currently looking to move to Dubai, which type of insights you would give them before moving to Dubai?
There's lots of insights. And actually, I talk a lot about this whole mindset shift. As you're an expat, you're someone who is generally risk loving, right? You are open to risk because when you move from one country to another, you're accepting a certain amount of risk. And so if you're a woman that's looking to move to Dubai and you're also thinking about starting a business, you're already one step ahead. You already have the right mindset. So that's the first thing. The second thing is something we talked about, which is building a social circle. You've got to do it. I mean, you know that Dubai is a place of relationships, right?
Absolutely.
So relationships in business are extremely important. And so that's another piece of advice I would give them. Start now, start networking, build relationships with women entrepreneurs or other entrepreneurs that are already, in the space.
I totally agree with you. It's not easy. For me, it was as well not easy to move to Dubai. It's something new laws, new people, new city. So you need a good courage. But currently, I say the world is going crazy, and I guess you have to see where is the most safest place. And currently, I see Dubai there. There's a lot of many other places. For example, I love Italy. I love Spain. But still, if you have kids, for example, then it's as well not the right environment for the school education. And if you're looking on each parts, currently from my side, there's just Dubai. Let's say the education by school, it's amazing. The cleanliness, the woman can walk at 2, 3 a.m. in the night outside. You don't have to be scared. So many good things is facing Dubai, who currently I cannot see any other country to move currently. I don't know what's your feeling.
I think that's what it is, really. I think the world is in so much of like this big tilt, this big shift, and literally everyone is looking here.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of people that want to move. I mean, I keep going back to the US after elections. Many people are looking to move. Many people have started to put plans in place. And so it's all about doing your research. You know, people want to come to Dubai, but you got to find a job if you're not going to start your own business. You have to have financial backing, resources. Please don't come here with no job. Don't do that. And just make sure you have a plan in place.
Absolutely. Talking now that Dubai is the number one hub currently with the ecosystem. So Dubai have to hold as well that position to be the number one. What do you think, what will be the next strategically insights of Dubai to be number one?
Oh, wow. That's a really great question. So I think, so I lived in China before I mentioned. And one thing China is really good at is building infrastructure. Right. And so we see that in the subways and their skyline and just rapid infrastructure. And Dubai is getting there too. And I think the more infrastructure that Dubai can build out, the more pleasant and comfortable it will be for people who live here. So we talk about traffic all the time, you know, like that's one thing that I think a lot of people are concerned about. And we're getting there, but that's going to really be key to make it more comfortable for people to come.
100%. This is the most question what my clients are telling me. They're saying, Mario, Dubai is beautiful. There's a lot of beautiful master communities, but the traffic is huge.
Yeah.
Even if you show them properties a little bit in the C locations, if we talk about, let's say, long-term investments and capital appreciations, they're saying, but then I need a long time to go to downtown. I say, but if you believe me or not, I'm living in Creek Harbor. It should be the second downtown. In the rush hour times, just to come to Business Bay, what normally 7 minutes, I need as well 30 to 40 minutes.
Wow.
Because just the overload of the cars, yes, now they're starting with the bridges and more metro stations and how I say it, the air transportation system. But I guess till now, the last couple of years, everything what Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid said, it happened. But I guess it's as well not easy for him if he want to double the people till 2030 to make the infrastructure that much nicer that everyone have space on the street. But I'm pretty sure it's possible for him.
Well, where are the areas that you think like people are really looking at that they want to move to? So that's one question that people ask me a lot. People hit you up in TikTok DMs or Instagram DMs and they say, hey, I'm looking to move to Dubai. Where should I move? What would you say?
I guess it's every time specific on what you're looking for. For example, family-based people who have, let's say, kids, I recommend them every time to be in a master community. So you have, how I say, Creek Harbor. I have 2 kids. For me, Creek Harbor was a very strategic location. Why? Because we have the nice artificial lagoon on the Creek Beach side. We have a Mediclinic there. We have the Spiny supermarket there. So everything by feeds. There are nurseries. And you are getting used to it. Don't moving too much, because in Dubai, now back to the traffic, you are avoiding sitting a lot of time in the cars. So, and there's a lot of beautiful master communities, family-based, let's say Creek Harbor, Shoba Heartland 2, who's building a beautiful master community, and many more. But of course, in the end, you have to decide as well which school the kids are going. They're going with a German school, let's say the Swiss school, what we have. They're going with a British educational system. So, and I say every time, first check which school you want to use. You want to go with a German education system, British education system, and afterwards we are looking which, let's say, master communities are near to the school, because afterwards, if you're living in Jumeirah Park, but another Sheba is the school, that's it. So you can wake up 3 hours before. Of course, then for people who are single or just couples, they like, then I'm asking every time which type you are more. You are a C type, so you like more the sea, or you like more the city. And then it's going, okay, if they tell me I like the sea, then it's going more to Dubai Harbor, JBR, Marina. And JBR normally I'm not recommending that much as well, because of the traffic moving inside and going outside, it's a headache. But JVT, it's as well near to the sea. There as well, you are entering very fast and you can go out as well very fast. So JVT and Dubai Harbor on the seaside is beautiful. And in the city, then of course, afterwards, District 1, downtown. These are the place to be for couples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live in JVC.
Yeah, Jumeirah
And
Village Circuits
yeah,
as well, a very strategic location.
it is. And now it's becoming Benghazi land because they are really building
Yeah.
almost in like 50, 60, 70% of the area there. It's amazing to watch it get built up.
Yes, Benghazi is, I guess, building 60% of JVC. And now as well, new areas is coming up like Dubai Harbor. Now everyone, Dubai Land, everything
Okay.
have the focus on it now currently. All the developers are buying now their lands and you can buy with a very, very good square feet price in it. And still there's one street, I will not say that street because it's my insight if someone want to buy.
I'll ask you after.
You are very fast to downtown as well, faster, for example, if you're living in JVC. But JVC, it's nice. You're 10 minutes in JBR, 15 minutes from Palm Jumeirah, 20 minutes downtown. You have Dubai Hills next to it. So, and a new mall will come up as well in JVC.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, opposite. They're working very long on it, but now they're making the fittings inside. I guess in 2 to 3 years, they will open opposite between JVT and JVC.
That's another thing. It's amazing how fast the malls, when people discover there is a new mall, like Dubai Hills Mall, maybe like 2 years ago. Well, it was just opening like a year and a half ago. It was just opening and new and everything, and it was kind of quiet. But now it's pretty packed.
Absolutely, absolutely. But this is as well. This is exactly what we're talking with the areas as well. Not everyone can afford the prime areas. So that's why you have every time to check what is the area what you like for. Because in Germany, okay, the positive thing from Germany, you have the insurance, the health insurance get paid from the government. The school get paid from the government. So you don't have that much expensive. But if you're moving to Dubai and you need a good education system, you have the private school, what you have to pay for, the nursery, what you have to pay for, the health insurance, what you have to pay for. So, and let's talk about a good job if you're employed. Let's say if you're earning $6,000 to $8,000, it's normally in Germany for European, let's say for European standard, a very good amount of money. But having $6,000 to $8,000 in Dubai, you have to think good which location I'm living because I have to pay the school, I have to pay my lifestyle, I have to pay, of course, the rent. So there's many things to pay. But of course, you're paying it here because you get a lot of things back from Dubai.
Yeah.
And I say the American dream is done. I like that Donald Trump is back in the in the game, but now it's Dubai, a Dubai dream.
Yeah, it is the Dubai dream. I mean, I do agree with that. I think it is the Dubai dream. And yeah, I was following you until you said Donald Trump, but but yeah, it is the Dubai dream. And for people who are coming here, I think that they should be thinking about how to build a business, right? Not what job to get, because there is a big difference. We talk about wages and we talk about how much money you should be making. There's more opportunity to build a business in Dubai, I think, and to have a comfortable lifestyle that way, if you can do it. If you can stick with it, I think that's more comfortable than, having a role. But of course, I'm biased because that's what I did.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I had no friends of me here. They say, "Well, Dubai, it's still a lot expensive." But I told them, you don't have to forget we are not paying taxes here. So now, yes, okay, 9% corporate tax, what I pay for with the bottom of my heart, because what is 9% for that, what Dubai is giving us? But imagine Germany, we paid almost 50%.
That's crazy.
I have to be for 20,000 euro employed to get 10,000 out of it.
Wow.
So it's insane. So when I say, if you compare the taxes, what you are paying, and the prices what you have in Germany, so still in the end of the day, you're moving better with Dubai, because here 100% is mine. If I employ someone, he don't have to pay taxes. So if I tell him you get 10 grand each month, he get 10 grand each month, even with paying 1% tax. So it's making a huge difference.
Except for all the Americans that are suffering paying taxes.
Yes,
back
you have
home.
a worldwide tax regulation. You have American citizenship?
Yeah. Born there, and you can't escape the taxes. You can't.
Amazing. So that's perfect. What you would move for, America or Dubai?
Oh no, I'd be here. I mean, I think the U.S. has changed so much over the past 15, 20 years. And, gun safety is a huge issue. I mean, there's so many issues. But for me, I think it's gun safety. I went back to the US last year and a half ago, and I was in Dunkin' Donuts, and I'm in line, and you're just waiting for your coffee, and I noticed the guy in front of me has a gun in his jeans, and he's not a police officer. It's just open carry, right? And so, how would you feel in that situation? You feel like, well, if something happens, right? This guy's,
shooting, yes.
yeah, he's shooting. He's armed. So it's not a really good feeling to know that some people have guns, some people don't. You don't know their mental state, etc.
Totally agree. This was before I moved to Dubai. I thought about, because my wife is half American, so the father is from Seattle, and we thought about moving to Miami because the real estate Miami is as well very attractive. But then thinking again, coming back to the kids, I said, why I should move from Germany because I don't feel any more safe there. Why I should move to America, to the next country, who is not that much safe. The lifestyle is nice, yes. Business-wise, it's nice. Taxation, don't let us talk about that. But yes, so that's why, I guess that's why it's Dubai, the hub, the place to be, because even if you're looking on each left and right, there's no point where you can say, I don't like Dubai. Okay, a lot of people are saying it's fake, it's not natural. But even I don't see it as fake because the palm trees are true. The greenery area is true. So it's this insane what they did. Imagine this was a desert. So I don't see, of course, you see something let's say Rome, you go to Rome, it's antique. You see it's made by hands. But Dubai is giving as well a very nice environment.
I mean, I think every country, and now I've, lived in a number of different countries now, every country has its own system or what other people would refer to as fake, right? So there is no country on this planet that you can go to and, things are like, everybody's keeping it 100. No, there's always some sort of like underpinnings or some hidden rules that you need to follow. So everything has an element of that.
That's true. My last question to you. How long time you see yourself in Dubai?
Oh, wow. For now, for the foreseeable future, what I like here is that I can actually do 2-3 different sorts of business at a time. So I have Bite Bow. I'm working on that. I'm also writing a book and building a brand, which is The Real Expat. And the first book that's coming out next quarter is How to Build a Business Abroad. Right. And so that book is talking about mindset. It's talking about the risk taking, building a social circle, everything that you've actually mentioned. And so doing that, and I'll probably also do some other things on the personal branding side, but it allows for much more creativity, I think, and particularly for someone who is leaving the legal industry to do these kinds of things, Dubai is a place to do that. It's a place of interest. So I'll be here for a while.
Amazing. Happy to hear that. Thank you for having you here. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Great being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.